Leaders of tomorrow. No Malaysians identified in Itaewon stampede. Prime Minister promises to review IPG rubber market price. Those are the headlines for tonight. You're now with me, Lorenzo Isaac, and this is TVS Nightline. The ruling coalition party of Sarawak, Gabungan Party Sarawak GPS, is optimistic that it will be able to train and produce the younger generations of leaders to ensure the political stability statewide. Its chairman, Dato' Patinggi Tan Sri Abang Johari Tun Openg, said it has already become the norm in politics of Sarawak to include new faces that lead Sarawak into a better future.
Ya, memang seperti mana telah kita lakukan dalam pilihan raya yang lepas. Tiap-tiap pilihan raya kita akan memperkenalkan muka-muka baru yang terdiri daripada selalunya orang muda. Ini adalah satu proses melatih pimpinan untuk masa depan. Kerana kita berkenalkan para pemimpin yang mempunyai pengalaman yang luas dalam politik, dan oleh sebab itu sudah menjadi budaya parti-parti kita di Sarawak, termasuklah bahkan komponen kita dan PBB, kita akan memperkenalkan muka baru. Kalau pilihan raya PRU 14 dulu, kita memperkenalkan beberapa dari PBB, muka-muka baru, Si Yusof, muka baru, Luke, muka baru.
Abang Johari, who is also the Premier of Sarawak, said the new candidates will be revealed this upcoming 3rd of November.
Dan kali ini pun kita berterima kasih kalau daripada sudut PBB ada yang buat mereka nak retire lah. Mereka nak beri peluang kepada orang muda. Jadi kita gantilah mereka kerana mereka sudah berasa sudah lama dan memberikan pada orang-orang baru untuk mengganti mereka. Sebabnya hari saya kata, saya beri bayangan ada orang muda, ada wanita yang baru, ada orang pengalaman. Tunggulah 3 bulan.
Abang Johari told this to the reporters during a press conference after the launching ceremony of the Gabungan Party Sarawak GPS Women's Machinery on Sunday, October 30th.
Santubong incumbent Datuk Sri Wan Junaidi Tuanku Jaafar has decided to step down and give way to another candidate to contest in his seat in the 15th general election GE15. This was revealed by the Premier of Sarawak, Dato' Patinggi Tan Sri Abang Johari Tun Openg, who noted that Wan Junaidi had personally stated his intent to sit out the upcoming election. However, the Gabungan Party Sarawak GPS chairman said he has not given his final decision on whether to let Wan Junaidi step down from his seat or not.
Sebabnya nyampun. Nyampun. Because he told me he's already 77. Menang juga. And then they said he want to do other things, but he will be giving us advice.
For the record, Wan Junaidi is one of the longest serving MPs in Sarawak. He served for 32 years since 1990, where he started as Batang Lupar's MP. In 2004, he switched constituencies with Datuk Sri Rohani Abdul Karim to Santubong Parliament.
The Premier of Sarawak, Dato' Patinggi Tan Sri Abang Johari Tun Openg, said there is nothing to stop a woman from becoming the Prime Minister of Malaysia. He stressed that the quality of leadership in politicians outweighs the significance of their gender. As such, he did not rule out the possibility of having a Malaysian Prime Minister in the future.
I mean, you have to face reality. If he's good, she is good. She can unite people, and she has vision. Why not? Why not? Because nowadays no gender. No gender. So long she is good, she can perform. Why not? And people got confidence. Why not?
On to Seoul's Halloween stampede. Earlier today, 153 deaths were confirmed, and among them were 19 foreigners. Fortunately, no Malaysians was identified among the deceased, according to Yongsan's head of the fire department, Choi Seong-byom. Their nationalities include those from Iran, Uzbekistan, China, and Norway. Of the deceased, 97 are female and 54 are male.
Especially victims are mostly teenagers and those who are in their 20s.
President Yoon Suk-yeol addressed the nation live from the presidential office, saying Saturday's tragedy and disaster should never have happened. The president also announced a period of national mourning over the stampede.
어젯밤 헬로윈을 맞은
A tragedy and disaster that should not have happened took place in the heart of Seoul during the Halloween celebration last night. I express my condolences to the victims of unexpected incidents and hope the injured people will get better soon. My heart goes out to family members of the victims who are suffering from the heartbreak of losing loved ones.
정부는 오늘부터
The government will designate a period of national mourning from today until the incident is brought under control and will put top priority in state affairs in recovery and follow-up measures of the incident.
At a community center in Seoul, anxious and saddened individuals arrived to find out more information about those who were uncontactable.
I could not find the missing person. Yes, I checked the list, but the person's name is not there.
And then there was just obviously waves of people coming in. This is like the middle of Itaewon, so waves are coming in from both sides. And more people fell, and then I lost my friend.
The exact cause of the accident is yet to be known.
World leaders expressed sadness and condolences after at least 153 people were killed in a crowd surge Saturday night in Seoul, South Korea. The tragedy occurred in Seoul's Itaewon's district during Halloween festival when a huge crowd surged into a narrow downhill alley. At least 82 others were injured in the South Korea's deadliest accident in years.
U.S. President Joe Biden and First Lady Jill Biden sent their deepest condolences to their families of the deceased. Similarly, British Prime Minister Rishi Sunak described the news from Seoul as horrific on Twitter. In France, President Emmanuel Macron, who tweeted in both French and in Korean, offered support to Seoul residents and South Korea. Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau echoed similar sentiments on Twitter, sending his deepest condolences to the people of South Korea and wishing a fast and full recovery to those who were injured. Chinese President Xi Jinping also sent condolences to South Korean President Yoon Suk-yeol, expressing condolences and shock over the stampede accident in Seoul, according to a statement by the Chinese Foreign Ministry. He also expressed condolences to the victims of the accident and their families. Hong Kong leader John Lee said in a statement on Facebook that he was saddened by the accident in Seoul. Earlier, Japan's Prime Minister Fumio Kishida said he was deeply saddened by the event. German Chancellor Olaf Scholz said that the tragic events in Seoul come as a shock to all of us. German Foreign Minister Annalena Baerbock said she was heartbroken by the tragic news from Seoul. Meanwhile, Singapore's President Halimah Yacob described the loss of lives as tragic and said it was hard to imagine the trauma and grief experienced by the families, loved ones, and friends of those affected.
A political party's manifesto is important for the people to evaluate and study so that they can make informed decisions on whether to vote for the party's candidate or otherwise. Vice President of Parti Pesaka Bumi Putra Bersatu PBB, Datuk Sri Abdul Karim Rahman Hamzah said voters can appraise the issues or initiatives put forward by political parties before polling day on November 19.
Gabungan Parti Sarawak GPS Chairman Datuk Petinggi Tan Sri Abang Johari Tun Openg pointed out that GPS's manifesto is focused entirely on the welfare of Sarawak and its people. Karim hopes that the members of the public would evaluate the manifesto in detail and reject problematic parties.
Voters, before they vote, dia akan menilai, mereka akan melihat apakah perjuangan parti, apakah manifestonya. Kalau sebelum masuk dalam pilihan raya sudah menghadapi masalah-masalah seperti ini, bagaimana nak diundi? How are you going to lead us?
Karim said this to reporters after attending the Kuching Jazz 2022 concert on Saturday, October 29th.
Gabungan Parti Sarawak GPS is expected to present 40 new faces as their candidates for the upcoming 15 general election. This prediction was made by the Senior Fellow of the Malaysian Council of Professors MPN, Datuk Dr. January Amir, said the 14 potential candidates may consist of youth and women from various backgrounds.
January further stated that it is a norm for GPS to include new candidates from various backgrounds as a form of discovering new talents. He also predicts 3 incumbents will make way for new candidates, and they are Datuk Sri Wan Junaidi, Datuk Sri Rohani Karim, and 1 candidate from Sri Aman. He spoke during an interview with Bernama TV on Saturday. Prior to the interview, Sarawak's Premier Datuk Petinggi Tan Sri Abang Johari Tun Openg announced that he will announce all GPS candidates for GE15 by November 3rd.
Malaysian Aviation Commission MAVCOM is urged to set ceiling prices on flight tickets. Minister of Tourism, Creative Industry and Performing Arts Datuk Sri Abdul Karim Rahman Hamzah stressed that this is important to ensure that airlines do not set exorbitant ticket prices that might deter from people from frequent travelling.
He pointed out that MAVCOM, as a primary body, should play its role in ensuring that the flight tickets can be bought by all walks of life.
Itu adalah antara yang menyebabkan kita agak risau. Karena connectivity ini kalau kita lepaskan kepada supply and demand, kalau tidak dibuat ceiling yang, then harga tiket akan menampung. Tiap-tiap kali ada event besar, macam pilihan raya macam ini, harga tiket jadi tinggi.
He noted that as a prime tourism destination, the Sarawak government has helped the tourism industry by attracting both local and international tourists, which also includes hotel prices offers that do not burden tourists and are affordable.
Our Hilton hotel rate is considered to be among the lowest in the world. Among the lowest in the world. Kalau kita pergi Singapura, kalau kita pergi ke Kuala Lumpur, hotel rate-nya memang tinggi. Kalau di Sarawak, paling tinggi saya rasa 400-500 saja satu malam, paling tinggi. Kalau di Kuala Lumpur 800-700.
Karim was met by reporters after attending the 2022 Kuching Jazz concert in Kuching Waterfront on Saturday, October 29th. Flight tickets to Sabah and Sarawak allegedly rose immediately after the Election Commission EC announced the date of the 15th general election, which at the time flustered the people who want to go back to vote. EC has set November 5th as nomination day, November 15th as early voting day, and polling day on November 19th, 2022.
Meanwhile, airlines in Malaysia have been requested to increase flight frequencies as the day draws nearer to the 15th general election. Minister of Transport, Datuk Sri Dr. Wee Ka Siong, said if necessary, airports and flights operation should be extended until midnight.
He added, airline companies need to consider a lower airfare to give a fair price for students to go back to their home state. Thus, we said that the Malaysian Aviation Commission, MAVCOM, plays an important role in monitoring airfares and flight schedules for the people. He also assured that all land transportation will be sufficient throughout the GE15 period. We spoke at a media conference after attending the Batu Pahat District National Sports Day and the grant of Malaysia Family License Assistance BLKM.
Coming up right after the break, Russia, we did not make them do it. Longest train completes Swiss Alps trip. Right here on TVS Nightline. Stay tuned. Welcome back. Caretaker Prime Minister Datuk Seri Ismail Sabri Yaakob has given his assurances that he will review the rubber market price set for the rubber production incentive (IPG) if he returns to lead the government after the 15th general election (JE15). Ismail said he was aware of many parties requesting for the rubber market price, which was previously set at RM2.50 per kilogram through IPG, to be increased.
Datuk Seri Salim bangkitkan dalam parlimen, jumpa saya berkali-kali memohon supaya RM2.50 dipertingkatkan. Saya pun dah berbincang dengan Menteri Kewangan. Kita akan lihat perkara ini. InsyaAllah kalau diberi peluang memerintah semula Malaysia ini, kita akan kaji dengan teliti perkara ini.
He said this when officiating the Prosperous Malaysian Family Smallholders Program organized by the Rubber Industry Smallholder Development Authority, or RISDA, on Sunday. Ismail said the government was aware of how important the rubber plantation sector is to the country's economy and has introduced various initiatives and assistance to increase the income of smallholders. He said rubber was the only commodity that was still given full assistance by the government. In addition to IPG, he said the government has also introduced the rubber replanting program with a target area of 20,000 hectares, which now exceeds 10,000 hectares with a participation of 7,180 smallholders. Meanwhile, he said the government has also introduced the Rubber Productivity Incentive Scheme, or SIPG, involving an allocation of RM31.1 million to achieve an annual production of 1,800 kilograms per hectare. The scheme, he said, was rolled out by the government to increase the income of smallholders through the productivity of rubber products.
Alhamdulillah, insentif tersebut telah dimanfaatkan oleh 29,205 pekebun kecil di seluruh negara termasuk 4,344 pekebun kecil di Pahang dan seramai 602 pekebun di Parlimen Bera ini.
On the monsoon aid BMT amounting to 191 million ringgit that was announced previously, Ismail said all smallholders will receive 600 ringgit aid, which will be distributed in stages starting in November, and the second stage will be disbursed in December. He said the aid, which was also announced in the 2023 budget, will be increased by 200 ringgit to 800 ringgit with an allocation of 256 million ringgit for 4 months. The aid, Ismail added, will benefit a total of 320,000 recipients from RISDA and Federal Land Development Authority, FELDA.
Kerajaan akan memperuntukkan peruntukan yang lebih besar kepada pekebun kecil, iaitu peningkatan sebanyak 18.1%. Ini dalam bajet 2023 berjumlah 600 juta berbanding 508 juta yang disalurkan pada tahun ini. Peruntukan ini, dengan peningkatan peruntukan ini membuktikan bahawa pihak kerajaan sentiasa menjaga kepentingan pekebun kecil kita. Dan bajet tahun ini juga 2023 kerajaan telah memperuntukkan sebanyak 2.6 bilion ringgit kepada sektor komoditi yang melibatkan RISDA.
Now on to some international affairs. After Joe Biden cast his vote in the United States midterm election earlier today, the President Joe Biden took his time to address accusations made by Russia to the US. 3 days ago, Russia's President Vladimir Putin accused the West of causing the Ukraine-Russia conflict and their decision to suspend the grain deal with their counterpart. Biden deemed the accusation as something outrageous. Let's take a look.
Truly outrageous. There's been increased starvation. There's no reason for them to do that. But they're always looking for some rationale to be able to say the reason they're doing something outrageous is because the West made them do it. And it's just not, there's no merit to what they're doing. The UN negotiated that deal, and that should be the end of it.
When asked to comment on the Halloween stampede in Seoul, Biden said he will issue a statement once he is more well-informed about the incident.
South Korea, correct? Oh. I will make a statement when I find out more about it. I just literally heard about it from staff on the way down in the car.
Soon after, he published his condolences via Twitter, followed by United Kingdom's recently appointed Prime Minister, Rishi Sunak. The number of deaths at press time stands at 153 and is expected to rise over the next hours.
Let's end the Nightline on a good note. The title for the world's longest passenger train in the world has a new proud owner. Switzerland's Rhine Railway RHB has produced a 1.91-kilometer train which recently completed its 25-kilometer trip around the Swiss Alps.
The train traveled from Preda to Filisur, passing over bridges and tunnels in the mountains, and was given recognition by the Guinness World Records for the train can run at speeds up to 35 kilometers per hour. The train can fit 100 seated passengers and is operated by 7 drivers and 21 technicians. The event also marked the 15th anniversary of Swiss Railways.
Don't forget to catch the 3rd episode of TVS new reality program Getaran Jiwa this Friday, beginning with the Debaran Jiwa capsule at 7:30 p.m, followed by Getaran Jiwa live concert at 8:45 p.m. The public is also invited to watch the concert at MBKA Stadium, Bintawa. For more information, follow Getaran Jiwa official Facebook page and Instagram. With TVS as we bring you the latest news updates both locally and internationally. Just head on to our website at tvstv.my or follow us on our social media. And also don't forget to catch our comprehensive discussion on GE15 with our daily coverage of Malaysia Decides at 2 p.m. That's all the time we have for TVS Nightline. I'm Lorenzo Isaac. Thank you for watching.